Welcome to Show Up and Glow. My name's Jalen. This is my cozy corner, a space created just for you to tune in and chill out. If this interests you, I invite you to find some headphones, quiet space, and join me for a calming and comforting experience. If this is not for you, that is okay. I appreciate you stopping by. As you notice yourself enjoying your stay, please make sure to like and subscribe for more of this calm and cozy vibe. Now let's get started. Y'all, it's here. We made it 1 year. It is the 1 year mark of Show Up and Glow ASMR. And boy, has it flown by. And boy, I can't believe we're here. I think yearly marks really kind of shake me a little bit, because it always feels like, no way it's been a year. Like, no way that time has passed. And then the reality sets in and it's like, yeah, that really has passed. You know, we should be grateful for every year that we're here again to see with our birthdays. And I'm so grateful and thankful to you, the subscriber and the viewer who has supported me this entire year with this new channel, this new content, and this new concept in the ASMR world and community. And because of that, I have an incredibly special collaboration today. This friend of mine has been incredibly supportive, I honestly think since probably video 2, since she found me and I found her. She has supported every video I've posted. We encourage each other in groups, and I'm just so thankful that there are people in my corner bringing a new idea and concept to ASMR, like this friend of mine. So we have a very special reading today. We're going to do a tarot reading, and today I'm going to be using a deck you've never seen. This is my Prisma Visions Tarot. Prisma Visions Tarot. Now, you will see my dear friend utilize the sounds of her deck and her box in just a minute, but I wanted to show you how beautiful this deck was with this silver like leafing on the sides. So get cozy, settle in. As you know, in the cozy corner, I want you to grab some tea or some hot chocolate or a little cozy drink or a little cozy blanket. Get all sorts of cozy, because my girl Morika is about to get you real nice and relaxed with her card pulling. And once she's pulled her cards, come back to me. I'll interpret them for her. So, cozy up. I'll see you in just a minute.
Good evening. Welcome. Tonight, I'm going to ask my good friend, Jalen, to do a tarot reading for me. So I am going to pull 3 cards from my deck for her to read. This is my tarot deck. It's a classic Rider-Waite tarot deck. I have shuffled these thoroughly off the camera so that they are not too loud. But in order to pick a card, I like to shuffle them slowly. I like to shuffle them slowly until there is a card that speaks to me. So now I will go through them until I find the right one. Slowly through until I feel a pull or connection with the card. Something that makes me want to stop. And this is the one. The Queen of Swords. And I am thinking of my question as I roll through these. And I will say the question when I have pulled all my cards. I'm looking for a connection to my card. This one right here. The Wheel of Fortune. And now I'm looking for my final card. Something tells me that this one is a little deeper in the deck. This one here. Temperance. I have pulled the Queen of Swords, the Wheel of Fortune, and Temperance. My question while I was shuffling was, how can I better let go of things that I cannot change? The Queen of Swords. This is a queen. She has a crown and is sitting in a rather ornate throne. She is holding one large sword and has a rather stern look on her face. There are clouds and birds in the distance, and her cape looks to have clouds printed on it. She is holding her hand out, perhaps an offering. My second card is a Wheel of Fortune. This card has a wheel in the center, along with several mythical creatures surrounding it. phoenix, an angel, a sphinx, a devil, a griffin, a snake, and this one I don't know. It's a cow with wings, and they are all up in the clouds. My third card is Temperance. This is a card with an angel very prominent. The angel is pouring water from one cup to another. There is a bright sun in the background, and the angel has her feet just resting in the water. There are lilies, and everything looks very green and fertile. One, two, and three. The Queen of Swords, Wheel of Fortune, and Temperance. And these are my cards. How can I better let go of things that I cannot change?
Welcome back. She's just so good at relaxing every part of your mind and your body. So let's interpret her cards. I have them laid out for you to see right here. Like I said, this is the Prisma Visions Tarot deck. This is the interpreter's artwork, who did a really great job. His name is James R. Eads. And this deck, when you line it all up together on your floor, it all connects the scenes, which is stunning and so creative and just a completely new take on a tarot deck that I've seen. His artwork is gorgeous, very detailed, and I'm excited to give you his interpretation of the cards as well as my interpretation based off of what Morika set her intention for and what message she's looking to receive. So, like she mentioned, she pulled the Queen of Swords, and in my deck, it is a woman. She has wrapped some type of wire or cloth around this gigantic, like, swan, their beak. The next card is the Wheel of Fortune, and very similar to Morika's card. It has a wheel, and in this one it's two serpents. And then it has the same type of swan or goose element coming into the frame. And then my Temperance card looks like a overflowing ocean, pond, river, water element, as well as holding the cups on either side for balance like her angels. So I'm going to read from the book just so people can have an understanding of what a traditional meaning would be. But again, at the end, I want to interpret how I would read these cards for a client, for myself, if I wasn't going to use my book. So this is the Prisma Tarot booklet. James R. Eads has done a beautiful job at adding a story element as well as the meaning. So let's read both in order. So the way I'm going to interpret Morika's reading today is how all of these cards work together. how they're all going to work. In her question, I'm not reading it so much in a traditional sense of like past, present, future. I'm reading it in a here, in a now way. I find that is how I like to interpret tarot, and it's the most impactful. So let's read Queen of Swords. It says, this is the little story, and then the interpretation is under that. Queen of Swords. The imperative of the suit of swords is to master malevolence, and here we see it finally accomplished. The queen has bound the beast's beak, concealing its cruel, gnashing teeth. Her crown is made of feathers, and her skirt is lined by swords, indicating the supple power of the blade when it is used absolute. She looks on in sad recognition of the bird's plight, but pity will not stay her from doing what is just. She restrains evil, her judicious mind glittering like a cold diamond. The interpretation. When you see the queen in a reading, it is time to rein in your demons. You no longer have the excuse of inexperience, ignorance, or even fear. Use your immense intelligence and love of truth to conquer what plagues you. When you do, you'll be able to access matters of the heart with cool mental clarity and grace. My interpretation of that, how I've always interpreted the Queen of Swords for a client and for Morika. The Queen of Swords is a master of her mind and a master of her words. And when Morika set her intention, something she wants to know is how can she best let go of that which doesn't serve her. And a lot of the time, the mind is going to hold you back, and it's going to create stories, and it's going to tell you lies, and it's going to try to keep you safe. And it doesn't like not knowing what's next. It doesn't like the unknown. So as the first card, I'm seeing, well, you got to master your mind. You got to master your mind and not let the fear of the unknown get in your way or stop you. And whenever I see the Queen of Swords, I see that it is the energy that someone already has. I see that Morika already has this energy, and she's already doing that and is very good at doing that. So it's just a gentle reminder that you have it all. Like my movie, Wizard of Oz, y'all already know. You already have the power, my dear. You already have the power, my dear, in the Queen of Swords when she appears. Just a reassurance. So moving on to Wheel of Fortune. Now, Wheel of Fortune and Temperance are both major arcana cards, and this is a suit card as well. So these are all what I would call like higher energy. They're going to be more solid. So, moving on to Wheel of Fortune. Wheel of Fortune. A peacock and a serpent are locked in vicious combat. A second serpent is entangled beneath, looking victorious, but consuming its own tail in confusion. A second peacock strikes in from above, determined to take part in the eternal, desperate struggle for dominance. Fortune favors the bold. Constantly vying for power may seem like a futile pursuit, but it is in fact a simple, blessed characteristic of life that is never at a standstill. The Wheel of Fortune shows the perpetual shifting in the balance of powers, manifested infinitely within every aspect of your life. At any given time, you will be the champion, be the contender, believe you are the champion, or have no reign at all, quickly hurtling yourself into the fray. This card suggests a change is coming. The old king is dead. Someone or something will rise up in its stead. Wheel of Fortune typically means life is always going to be spinning in the wheel, exactly like it said. Sometimes you're at the top and sometimes you're at the bottom. And how do we let go of that which no longer serves us? Or how do we let go of, worrying about the future? Is we always remember that if we're in a low, we're always going to come back to a high, and vice versa. There's a saying out there to never get your lows too lows or your highs too high. And I think the card Temperance plays well with that, because it's always cyclical, but we have to find the balance in living in both. No one wants to live in their lows. Absolutely not. I would love to live in my highs all the time, and for a while I did, and it was very unsustainable, because when a low hits you, because it will, it turns on the wheel. You have to be prepared and balanced, and that's where the Queen of Swords and having your mindset really strong, your feet grounded, to be able to handle the cyclical motion that's inevitable, you will find balance. So let's move on to Temperance to really seal the reading. Temperance. A gush of water surges up from the ocean, propelling a figure high above the waves. Rushing over his body, twin streams diverge and splash into his upheld cups, and in the midst of the deluge he is balanced, at peace, and unencumbered. Learning to maintain a balance is essential to survival. Though temptations will perpetually beckon, most sensual delights will prove sweeter in moderation. And excess can be toxic. Don't numb or harm yourself through overindulgence. If you find yourself with more than you need, a neighbor may benefit from your surplus. By sharing with others, life retains its distinct and magnificent flavors. So overall, when I look at the cards laid out like this, I deeply got the sense that Morika already has a control on her thoughts, or if she doesn't, it's a reminder that you have the power, my dear. You've always had it in you. That to live in both the highs and the lows, we are going to experience both the highs and the lows. So when you start feeling too low, it is beneficial to remind yourself that there can be a high, there will be a high. This is just temporary. And finding people, even on YouTube, to talk about that and to motivate and encourage whenever you start feeling too low can be so uplifting and powerful. Or coming to the Cozy Corner or visiting Morika's channel when you need to just kind of refocus is important when you're spinning on the wheel. Temperance, bringing in the balance of both, the duality of it. It's the accepting of, all right, well, I can't control it all. I can't see it all. I can only see what's here in the present moment in front of me. And I think it's a really beautiful message for all of us. So if you connected with this as well, fantastic. If you took a little bit from it, thank you so much for taking a little bit from it and opening yourself up to the reading. And Morika, I hope it makes sense in your day-to-day life also, what these cards mean for you, since you pulled them and your energy, you went behind them. Basically, control your mind, find the balance, and your wheel will keep spinning. Now, before I leave you, I want to do a clarifier. If you're familiar with my Cozy Corner, you know I love the Sacred Destiny Oracle, and in my personal tarot readings, I also will pull an oracle to just like sum up everything we just went through. And I love to give credit to Denise Lynn, and I will be reading from her book only because I find that her interpretations are beautiful and spot on. So what's the final overall message for Morika, my sweet, sweet friend who has been such a great supporter and has a fantastic channel if you don't already know her, which I'm sure probably a lot of you do. I feel like we have a lot of crossover subs, so I appreciate that. That's the final message, the final piece for her. I feel it right here. I personally feel like oracle cards will sum up everything maybe you've been thinking about doing or have had interest in. So take a look at this one for her. It says leadership at the bottom, and it has this delightful polar bear making his way through, I'm just gonna go with and say like Alaska or Antarctica. It has the night sky and a little bit of stars and galaxy in the top. He's just cruising along. It says leadership. Let's see. Beautiful. All right, Morika, bring it in. Listen up, girl. Here we go. Leadership. North Star. In Western culture, we wish upon a star because the stars represent all that is illuminating and enchanting. They symbolize aspiration, illumination, inspiration, imagination, and wonder. Native people used the stars to find their way in the night. The North Star was often used as a kind of compass to make sure one was going in the right direction. The North Star symbolizes direction and guidance. It is a guiding light for those who can't find their way. It's one of the brightest stars in its constellation. The sacred landscape wants you to know. Just as the North Star is a beacon for travelers in the dark of the night, you are a beacon for others. It's time to step into the light and take your leadership role. You are a teacher, steward, guardian, and healer, a true leader. Own these gifts. Come into the light. Don't hold back. Let the world see your light. The greatest leaders are those who know how to serve and act as stepping stones for others to reach their dreams. If you have been hiding in the background, it's time to break out and become the light for others. Through this, your star shines brighter. Morika? Oh my god. Girl, exactly. Like, get out of your head. Just like freaking balance the wheel of fortune in life and own your leadership. You're a big player in this ASMR community. Not that she's worried about any of this or asking my opinion about it, but hey, the final card is saying step into your leadership role. How can you take charge and, and help? And by collaborating with me today, you're already doing it. So I love how it kind of came all full circle. No, it didn't come full circle like the Wheel of Fortune. I'm telling you, we can't make this stuff up, people. We can't make it up. Highly improvised. So that was lovely. Thank you so much for stopping by and joining me in the Cozy Corner today. You could be anywhere on YouTube, and I really appreciate you being here with me. And thank you, Morika, so incredibly much for all the support this last year. I really appreciate it, and I'm glad I have a little North Star to look toward when I start getting into my head and when I can't control the inevitable. So thank you for being here with me today. I'll see you again real soon.